So we just had the season 51 of Saturday Night Live. I always watch the show, and at the end of every season, I kind of like to make a video that's sort of a retrospective of the season, talk about different aspects of the show. Um, like every episode, maybe try and pick a favorite sketch. Also, maybe talk about just what it's covering because it's always topical and relevant. I think it's a part of American culture, all that. And I might have interesting things to say about the musical guests, although I don't pay a ton of attention to that. And then at the end, I will actually do a tier list of the hosts based on how good of a job I think they did as hosting, and then also a tier list of the different cast members based on how funny and talented they are. But they're all pretty funny and talented, so yeah. So that's how this video is going to go. So let's jump right into it. And the way I'll just look at it is the YouTube channel and the thumbnails of all the sketches organized by their episode. So jumping out immediately is this season we get I don't know if this started this season or last season, but we have Colin Jost as Pete Hegseth, and I think that's pretty inspired. I think I like that impression, so that's fun. The host this week was Bad Bunny. I'm trying to see if I have a favorite sketch of these. This was a long while back ago. I'm not sure I remember a ton. I don't know. Maybe this inventing Spanish one was maybe kind of funny. We also have a bunch of new cast members this year, including Cam Patterson. So you got a weekend update for that one this time. Who was the musical guest this time? It was Doja Cat. The videos don't show up on there because they got taken down for copyright because they were older, but long ago. The newer ones might still be up, but I don't remember if the musical guest was anything. Then Bowen Yang had a funny weekend update bit as Dobby the house elf. So yeah. So that's highlights that episode. Next up, we got Saturday Night Live alumni of Amy Poehler. She's funny. I thought this was probably a pretty good episode. I think the standout sketch, and again, she's parodying Pam Bondi. Is this the first appearance of the couple you got back to Can't Believe We're Together, or maybe not? I don't know. So that's a highlight for Weekend Update. This one was funny, experienced lawyers. But I think the favorite sketch might have been this. I don't know what The Hunting Wives is, but it was a very funny sketch, even though I didn't know what that's actually parodying. So maybe that's my favorite choice for the sketch of this episode. Then we got Sabrina Carpenter as both the host and musical guest, I think. No opinion on her music, but she's pretty funny. She did a good job as hosting. Let's think. What was my favorite sketch? I like the Shop TV sketches. I think those are always really funny. What else? Anything else jumping out at me? Maybe I'm doing a lot of pre-tapes as my picks. The podcast one was all right, but I think top pick maybe is the Grind song, because it's always fun when they have a musical sketch. Okay, so next up we had Miles Teller. This was back when the New York City mayor election was the big topical thing, so I thought that the parody of that was interesting enough. Maybe. What else? This sketch I remember being kind of funny. I think this sketch was funny. This one was funny. I think Miles Teller actually did a good job. And then they parodied the White House. They're doing stuff to the White House, so they can parody that. Yeah, a lot of good sketches in that. Weekend Update, again, this was the first appearance of the people that just hooked up. That was a really good Weekend Update. So yeah, good episode. Couple really good sketches in there. And then we got Nikki Glazer. Again, it's not shown. Who was the musical guest this last one? Brandy Carlisle. She probably did a good job. Okay, so next up is Nikki Glazer. I was not very familiar with her, but she was pretty funny. Let me pick what sketch, and the musical guest was this guy. Didn't leave a huge impression. This sketch was funny, the karaoke. This was kind of fun. This one was kind of fun. I think Nikki Glazer did a good job because I'm pointing out multiple things. This has a following. Um, there's one I'm thinking of. I want to say. Did I forget which one? Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, but definitely funny options. Maybe this one's my favorite, the funniest, the American Girl Doll XL. So yeah, that's that. Okay, next would be musical guest Olivia Dean. No opinion on that. Host Glenn Powell. His monologue actually stood out to me. That was a good monologue. Um, they're making fun of AI. The Scandinavian movie that didn't land for me. Bob Army was kind of funny. Miss My Ex's Dad, another good musical one. This is a standout. We'll talk about Ashley Padilla in a bit, but she's a star. Um, and so maybe my favorite one was the making fun of AI, I guess. And then for political, topical stuff, of course, they're talking about Epstein. Um, uh, Next up is Melissa McCarthy and this guy, musical guest. I don't know the name off the top of my head. Yeah, what sketch stands out? This is a good showcase of Jeremy. Okay, maybe this Weekend Update feature, because I get sunburned really easily, so this is kind of funny to me. Let me think, what else? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Melissa McCarthy was a good host because she's funny, but I'm not sure if any particular sketch is kind of like standing out for me. Okay, so now we're actually still have the musical guest. So this guy, his name was Dijon. Again, don't have any opinion. It's just not something I pay a ton of attention to. I will watch the video every time of the musical guest performance, but I'm just not a music person. So, okay, Josh O'Connor's the next host. Musical guest is Lily Allen, I believe is the name. So I think this one, the strippers, that was funny. Good sketch for Josh to be in. Let's see. So maybe it's that one. It's fun that they're parodying Wizard of Oz. Yeah, and then Lily Allen, I think the music was fine. I don't have any real opinion on her. This one, okay, I forgot that they did this. This was cool. A parody of actors on actors, characters on characters. That was cool. And it's, we're getting into the holiday season now, so there's fun opportunities to do sketches for different holidays. That's cool. Yeah, so maybe characters on characters was my favorite, or maybe the strippers for that episode. And then the Christmas episode was Ariana Grande and Cher. Cher is really old, but her music was fine, I think. This episode, the host and the guest, they kind of handpicked for Bowen because it was Bowen Yang's last episode, so that was nice. And I'll get into this when I do the tier list, but actually, I liked this episode a lot. Actually, Ariana Grande was good, so that was cool. This one I think was really funny. Just again, more holiday stuff. I always like when they do holiday related sketches. Let's think. This was Bowen's actual goodbye sketch, so that was nice. The pre-tape of Home Alone was kind of awesome. Yeah. I mean, you've seen that type of thing before, but, they have a formula and it really worked here, with the something gone wrong type of thing, and everyone gets all bloody. But yeah, that's probably my favorite. Okay, so getting into the new year, we have Finn Wolfhard and ASAP Rocky. No opinion on ASAP Rocky. It's interesting because Finn Wolfhard is the first Saturday Night Live host, I believe, to be younger than me. So that's interesting. There are people hosting Saturday Night Live that are younger than me now. That's something. Jeremy Culhane is now JD Vance, and I think that's kind of fun. And more of the podcast. One of the I'm trying to remember what monologues this season were good. Maybe this one. I don't remember well enough though. So I think my favorite sketch might have been the Space Emperor because it's just very silly, like that. I'm not into Stranger Things. I should watch it at some point. It's probably up my alley, but never actually seen it yet. But that's kind of fun. Again, would not have guessed that they parody Free Solo, but I guess there was a relevant Netflix thing, so that's fine. The Heated Wizardry, that was something else. That's crazy. So maybe that's the best one, but I think my favorite is the Space Emperor. Yeah. And Tommy Brennan talking about Ice. Good that they're getting the new cast members on Weekend Update. Oh, this one might have been cut for time. Maybe a different one he had was made it. So then we had Teyana Taylor and the band Geese, and I remember not really liking the band Geese actually as the musical guest. Usually I just don't have an opinion, but this one is like I didn't really get it. But she was good. I know exactly. This was probably kind of cool, interesting maybe. Cold open. I remember the exact sketch that was my favorite. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, these sketches were probably good. Tana Taylor is pretty multi-talented. I think she's good at being funny as well, so that's cool. We met Mr. On Blast. Mr. On Blast is a thing. I don't actually know if I have a strong opinion on Mr. On Blast, which is kind of weird. You'd think you'd have a strong opinion on the guy, but I don't. But yeah, my favorite sketch was this, just because I saw one battle after another. I really liked one battle one after another. Would not have guessed in a million years that they would have parodied it in this specific way. So that was really funny. I was dying at that one. Who was the next host? Okay, this sketch was also pretty good. The mom's camera roll. But yeah, then we got Alexander Skarsgård and I guess Cardi B. Any Winter Olympics, that was funny. Jane Wickline is kind of finally getting more out of her comfort zone for stuff. What else? They reprised this one. That was cool. That was kind of interesting. Tarzan maybe was my favorite sketch, although I wasn't all that big on the Alexander Skarsgård episode, to be honest. Next up, Connor's Story, and musical guest was Mumford and Sons. I think Mumford and Sons probably did a good job. Connor's Story, I don't know anything about him. I didn't watch Heated Rivalry, but he seems cool. Gentleman's Code, that was kind of fun, pre-tape. Ice skating was pretty fun. So Punch the Monkey, that was. I mean, it's always fun when Sarah just makes fun of Colin at Weekend Update, so that's kind of fun. I'm trying to think what was my actual favorite sketch. This one was kind of fun. Maybe this one. I just actually saw this one, which was parodying something. I guess this one was maybe a little controversial. I didn't think it was bad or anything, and I thought it was kind of funny. So, the premise of that. So, maybe that one. So then we got Ryan Gosling, with I believe the musical guest was maybe Gorillaz is the name of the band. And this was funny, fresh and creative way to do a monologue. I mean, Ryan Gosling is just the funniest guy around, so basically all these sketches are gonna be great. But yeah, to pick a favorite, this one was good, this one was good, this one was good. They kind of relied on the fact that Ryan Gosling will just break everybody. Everybody will like start to laugh. I might actually have to pick the Goo Goo Man because it's the Goo Goo Man. Cyclops, that was funny. You can literally watch everybody break in that one. Yeah, so then we're getting into the Harry Styles episode. More Colin as Pete Hegseth. That's fun. I guess Marcelo Hernandez likes doing the Sebastian Maniscalco character, so that's neat. This was kind of funny and topical. This is a notably interesting Weekend Update feature. The emojis. Okay, I think my favorite of the Harry Styles episode was this one, when it's like everyone else trying to wear the Harry Styles fashion. That's pretty clever. Okay, they started doing the rundown, which was pretty interesting. I've kind of enjoyed watching these little, not promotional, but just like informational things. Um, yeah. So next up is Jack Black and Jack White. That's pretty inspired to have those two as the duo. Um, and I really like Jack Black actually. I think he is specifically really good at comedy and more kid friendly. Although SNL he can be a little bit less kid friendly, maybe for certain things. But I just like the guy. This one was fun. This news is weird. What is society at this point, man? Okay, this one made me actually laugh out loud because I have an encyclopedic knowledge of Harry Potter and it very much just hit all the right things that would know to make to laugh at. This one was cool. I mean, none of these sketches are like amazing, but Jack Black is just funny in general. So, you know. Then we got Coleman Domingo. We saw a few of these things from Martin Harrelly, so those were cool. Yeah, Coleman Domingo did a good job, and music guest Anita, no opinion on her. Yeah, maybe this one was my favorite. Maybe, maybe this one was my favorite. What If I Told You? But yeah, again, it's very similar. Like, I don't know if any of these sketches are like amazing, but Coleman Domingo's cool. So, yeah, let me think. Then we got Olivia Rodrigo. I think she's also younger than me, so another host that's younger than me, which is crazy. We did Shop TV again. For the last few episodes, we had Aziz Ansari, I think is the name, as Kash Patel, and I guess that's a pretty funny and accurate impression. We got more Shop TV, so that's fun. What else? This was kind of cute. This was fun. Anything else from Olivia Rodrigo? This was kind of fun. Where's the one? This one maybe. I think the guy's name is Dan Boa, who does a lot of the shorts with like special practical effects. So this is a standout for that one, that type. But yeah, she did good. I think she has a background in comedy as well as music, so that makes sense. And then we get Matt Damon with musical guest Noah Khan. I actually really like Noah Khan from what I've heard. Again, not a music guy, so I don't pay a ton of attention, but when I do hear him, he's cool. Yeah, everybody in the current administration is a drunk. That's funny. Yeah, Matt Damon I think did a good job. This one was fun. Mikey Day is probably a pretty important part of the show, and so that's cool. Him getting to do that. Again, same with Ashley Padilla. I think honestly, I don't know if it's my favorite, but the one that is stuck in my memory for whatever reason is this one where he's just the substitute teacher that's super weird. So maybe that. Anything else? Okay, no, I gotta say this one, like, this is actually amazing acting from both Sarah and Matt. I don't know how. Like, how do you do that? That's so good. Just the auction voice, that they had to keep that up for 5 minutes. That's crazy. Or 4 minutes and 23 seconds, Yeah, so then last we got Will Ferrell and Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney's really cool, but he's pretty old, so not huge expectations for the music of that, but that's cool. Will Ferrell, I think, is funny. He did a good job. Crazy that they actually have the ghost of Jeffrey Epstein in the cold open. That's I didn't know that they could get away with that. That's good. I think we got Mr. On Blast again. I think I missed it, but where's Jeremy's Tucker Carlson is also pretty funny. I think I like that impression better than his On Blast character. Hormuz Jeff was a very good pre-tape. But I think my favorite sketch is probably just Cast List 2, because the original is kind of a classic at this point. It got cut for time, but like I've gone back to rewatch it because SNL is really just a bunch of theater kids, so they know how to make fun of themselves in this sense. So this is funny stuff, and it's with an entirely new cast, so that's cool. And yeah, that's the whole season, just about. And so those are my favorite sketches. I tried to pick one of each episode, so now I'll go do the tier lists. Cool. Okay, so now we're gonna do the tier list for every host, just based on how good of a job I thought they did of hosting. Very subjective, don't put too much stock into this. But yeah, so we got all the pictures. They're actually from the bumpers that they do, which are like professional, creative pictures of the hosts. I think they're kind of neat. But yeah, so first up, I don't know what order I want to do this in. I'll just try to start at the beginning. How did I think Bad Bunny did? I think he's done this a couple times before, and I think he did fine, if not good. So probably B tier for Bad Bunny. Amy Poehler. I don't know if I'm gonna go as much as S, but we'll continue the alphabet trend and be A for Amy Poehler. Sabrina Carpenter. I'm trying to decide if I want A or B. I'm gonna put it here for now, and I'll come back to it based on where I put some of the others. Miles Teller. I'm not gonna go as far as S, but he I thought did a pretty good job. So I'll give him an A. Nikki Glazer. She did good. I'm not. I don't know if I would give an A. I'll give a B. I very much think she could do it again and do just as good or better. So, do we just want to keep going in order here? Let me see. Is there anyone? I think I'll just put this right here. Jack Black's gonna get an S. I think I'll just do that right now. I think he just does a really good job every time. Well, no, I'll put him. But I don't know if I want to give him an S yet. I'll put him there. I think at this point I'll just give Ryan Gosling the S, just because he's done this at least now 4 times, I think, not 5. Jack Black did 5. This is the 5th timer now, but Ryan Gosling, it's gonna be a good episode with him, so he can be our first S tier. Glenn Powell, I'm leaning a B, not necessarily an A. I'm leaning a B. Melissa McCarthy. I want to go maybe an A, but I'll leave it at a B for now. Josh O'Connor, I liked that episode, so I'll actually give him an A. Also, I'm not super familiar with him. I've only seen him in like one movie at this point, maybe, but I really like him. He's a good actor, so that's cool. Ariana Grande, I'm actually gonna give an A. I said I was going to elaborate on this. I really didn't actually like her episode last season all that much. I just thought the sketches were more weird than funny. They just didn't appeal to me for whatever reason. But I liked her episode a lot better this time. So she can get an A. Finn Wolfhard. I'll give a B. I don't know if he's A material yet. Do I think anyone is anyone going to get a C? I think my least favorite was probably Alexander Skarsgård, so he'll get a C. So that's, yeah. This is going to be kind of a boring list, actually. But, yeah. I remember really liking Olivia Rodrigo's episode. I thought she did a really good job. Will Ferrell, I'll leave him on the side. I don't know where I want to put him yet. Matt Damon, I thought, did good, so he can pop A tier. Connor Story, I think, did good. Coleman Domingo, I think, did. This is like all going to be A's and B's. This is like all going to be A's and B's. Harry Styles, I think, did fine. Teyana Taylor, I'll give an A. I'm gonna move a couple of these up to S's. Will Ferrell, I think, is gonna just get an S. Jack Black, I'll leave it A. Do any of these guys I want to bump up to S? It's weird because like I usually don't like giving an S unless like they have done it multiple times and I know for sure that they are consistently good at it. Same logic for the cast. But I'll bump Jack Black up to S tier. I might move that, but there's just, A is too full at this point, so, yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to change this up at all, because I don't want to give out too many S tiers, but my A is looking a little too full. Anyone I would move down? You did good, you did good, you did good. You did good. You'll stay an A. You did good, you did good, you did good. Um, I'm gonna here. I don't want to put Olivia Rodrigo all the way at S tier, but she did good. I think it might just be stuck like this. And on it here, I'll move these around. Sabrina Carpenter is like almost an A tier. I don't know if I want to. Yeah. And this is, I don't know if this is an order. It might just have to look like this. I think they all did pretty good. The one weaker one I think was Alexander Skarsgård, but he wasn't even that bad. Yeah, the rest of them did good. Maybe, yeah, these are my S tiers. I'm gonna put Amy Poehler up, and then I'll move all of my A tiers over one, and now they all fit on the board. Yay! Yeah, let's go with that. I don't know. It's not that serious. I'm gonna say this is how my tier list is gonna be right now. These four were really good. The rest were pretty good though, and yeah. So that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's not that serious, but maybe that's what it looks like. How the hosts did, in my opinion. They all did good. I don't know. But yeah, that's that. Okay, so now I gotta do a tier list of the cast members. I got them all here. You got alphabetical order, and then for the featured players, I also have one for just other special stuff. So like the Martin Harrowly things or the Dan Bola shorts with the special effects and props. But yeah, so I think I'll start in alphabetical order with Michael Che, and I like him, so I'll give him an 8 here. I think he does a good job with Weekend Update, and yeah, he's been consistently good with that. I'll just jump to Colin next. Colin, I might give an S, might leave it an A. We'll see. Who do I want to do next? I'll do Mikey Day. I think in the past I've given him the full and S tier. I think today I'll just do 8 here, because I kind of think he's almost like the face of the show, because he's just been doing this for the longest out of all the current cast, and he is good. I don't know if he's my single one favorite of the cast, but he's very good. So yeah, similar longtime player is Keenan. I'll give him a B, just not because he's bad. He's good. He's good. He has a place on the show. He's just not my favorite cast member. I like others better. I think they get more airtime and they're funnier. But Keenan does a good job with what he is involved with. My least favorite cast member is probably Chloe Fineman. She's not bad. I wouldn't really care if she doesn't come back for the next season. She is known for her impressions. I don't know that her impressions are all that amazing, but she does a fine job. So yeah, C for Chloe. Let's see, who do I want to do next? Let's think. James Austin Johnson, I'll give him an A because he is good. But I'm not sure that he really wowed me this season. It's kind of just more of what I already know he's good at. So yeah, that's fine. Here we got 4 of these left. I'm gonna jump into some of the new cast members. Although Ben Marshall's not really new. He's just kind of he was on Please Don't Destroy. Now he's an official cast member. I think he did a good job. So I'll give him an A tier. Let's think. Let me do Cam Patterson next. I'll give him a B, just because there are certain sketches that he did I actually did really like, but also he's just not my favorite. And his delivery, I don't notice this as much as other people. His delivery is a little bit awkward, just because I think he's more known for stand-up than sketch comedy. But, if he stays, I'm sure I hope he'll stay. He'll get better at it probably. It's just his first year. And so there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. And he'll grow. But he's doing good. Let's think. Okay, similarly, Jane Wickline, I don't know what I had her as before. I'll give her a B now, which is maybe low. But I think she's really improved over the couple years she's been there. So that's nice. Tommy Brennan, I think I'm only gonna give out the 1 C. I'll give him a B, but he's gonna be on the lower end. I think he's probably the weakest of the new hires, but he's not bad. I think he's funny. The reason is really just I know he hasn't gotten as much airtime as some of the other cast members, So some people are kind of speculating that he might not be back next year. I hope he still is. I think he did a good job, but probably maybe the weakest of the newer bunch. The strongest of the newer bunch, and I'll give him an A tier, is probably Jeremy Culhane. I think he did a really good job. And he already has a couple breakout characters, and that's pretty cool. And he has a background in sketch stuff, so that can kind of tell. Similarly, Veronica, she did really good in her. I think it's crazy. I think this is her first year, but I honestly can't even tell. She's really done well. And then last of the featured players, in our first S tier is going to be Ashley Padilla. She is the star of the show. She's doing so good. Literally perfect sketch performance every time. She's probably the best cast member, maybe, at this point. Which is crazy. She's only a featured player. Please promote her next year. She probably will get promoted because that's how it works, 2 years. But you really could have promoted her this year if you wanted to. Okay, so now we just have the rest of them. Bowen Yang, I'm going to give an A tier. He was only there for the first half of the show, but he did good. And I'm kind of sad that he's gone because he was good. So yeah. Andrew Dismukes, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna swap Ben is only a B, Andrew can be an A. Although, yeah, I'll do that. Just because I like Andrew. He was, a brand new cast member when I kind of first started watching the show, right at the start of my college years. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, he has a certain niche. But again, kind of similar to James Austin Johnson. I'm not sure he necessarily wowed me this season with anything that new or fresh. Sarah Sherman. I'll give another S tier. I really like her stuff, and she does a good job. And she's very much become a key part of the show, so that's that. And then last we have Marcelo Hernandez. Colin can get an S. I'll move all these guys out. And then I'll give Marcelo another A. Because I think he's been doing good, and he's another almost star of the show. He does a good job. So yeah, I think this is how it's gonna look for now. Let me just add the other stuff. I'll give a B, really just because there's no more room in the A slot, but it's consistently good. So yeah, and these aren't ordered, but this is I think how I want it to look. Yeah, Colin and Ashley and Sarah are my favorites. The rest of these guys do really good. And the rest of these guys do good, and yeah, so I think that's how my tier list is going to be. That's the end of my video. That's everything I wanted to talk about with season 51 of Saturday Night Live. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts. Thank you.